Back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about what to do when you're afraid or scared. But before we get started, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up so you never miss out on more uplifting content. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So, for those of you that don't know, I am Cinderella today for the Brandy version. I had to say it that way. And I was going to say the name of it, but when you look up Brandy Cinderella, you will find it. So, who said you can't wear braids and still be Cinderella, right? So, it is officially Halloween. Some people it's gonna be a huge controversy because people are gonna say, aren't you religious? How are you dressed in a costume? Blah, 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 blah. We get it. I understand. And today's video is not about that. So let's get the word. Yes, I love wearing costumes for every Halloween. It's just my thing. I'm going to probably not stop doing it. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Hopefully I don't offend anyone, but I also want to make sure that you get the word. So, what made me want to talk about what to do when you're afraid is because, for those of you that don't know, I've been single for a long time, right? And I just felt like I never wanted to be with anybody ever again. And it's not that the experience was so bad that I just didn't want to be with anybody or anything like that happened. Of course, heartbreak is normal because when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, there's a chance that you will get hurt. And you're always probably going to get hurt by the person that you're with because you care about them and they're not you. They're going to do something totally different that you aren't okay with, or that, you wouldn't do it if you were in that situation. Like, you wouldn't go to the store and maybe not get them something, but they might not get you something. And so, or they might say something that hurts your feelings unintentionally. It's not that they're trying to, but because you care about them, it might be something that hurts you, but not, purposefully. So I really just was immature when I was younger, and I didn't really take responsibility for my actions and things like that. And of course, when I was with the last person that I was really with, I was with that person for 15 years in a marriage, and I was immature. I was young. I really didn't know any different. I didn't know what to do differently in life. And it was before I really had a real relationship with God. And so I really didn't know what to do. So I was just so afraid. Oh, I think I have a trick or treater. Sorry to put you on hold like this. I'm so sorry. I will be right back. Thank you, beautiful. I'm so sorry for the pause. I was so excited. I love when the little kids are like, hi. And they're like, sorry. It just really like makes me so like gushy and girly. But whenever I see the little kids, I'm just like, I just want them to be okay. But let's get back to the story. So I was just really immature in that past relationship, and I really didn't know. I didn't know better, and I know that's a cop out, but I honestly really didn't. I thought every relationship was supposed to be miserable. I thought that you just were supposed to just deal with it. I had no idea that people could actually really treat you the right way, or you could be happy in a relationship or have like peace in a relationship. I didn't know those were real things that could happen. And so I kind of just settled, and I'm not saying that the person is bad. I'm not saying I'm a bad person. I'm just saying you don't know what you don't know until you know, and it's kind of like that Maya Angelou saying that you do the best you can until you know better than you do better. That's where I am now in my life. And so, because of the past relationship, because I was immature, because of all the things that I've done in life, I just have been so afraid to be with anybody. And every time someone would get close to me in the past, I would just push them away. I would make up an excuse. I would say something that was so like crazy, out of the pocket, so weird, so strange, that it would just like push the person away. I would say something that I knew was going to be something that the person wouldn't like, so that way they could just go, so that it would be like an excuse. So it would be like, well, at least it wasn't because of this, at least it wasn't because of that. But it was a cop out. It wasn't really me being brave. It was me being afraid and scared to really put my heart out there. And of course, the Bible says guard your heart at all costs. Like, you should always guard your heart. But that doesn't mean that you create an electric barrier fence full of vicious animals so people can never get a chance to know you. Because if you really truly want someone to care about you, if you really want someone to be able to learn you, if you really want to be in relationship with someone, any type of friendship, relationship, whatever else, you're going to have to allow the person to be able to see you. And even though it's scary, you have to be willing to take that chance. You have to be willing to say, okay, I'm afraid, but I still want to try. I still want to give this a chance. I still want to do whatever it is that you're doing in your life. And it's like that in relationships. It's like that in a job. Like, there's been jobs in the past that I was like, I'm underqualified. There's no way I can get this position. There's no way I can do this thing, that thing, all of these things. And God would tell me to fill out an application for a place, and I'd be like, God, like I wouldn't scoff at God or anything like that, but I was just like, okay, God, like you really want me to apply for this job? Like, that I only have this type of degree. I don't have like a PhD. You know that I only do this. I don't specialize in that. And I would just make up all these excuses like God isn't who He said He is. I would go fill out an application for this job and get it just like that. No qualifications. I mean, it's no explanation for why I should even have even been qualified for a position like that. Why I should even have an opportunity at a position like that. And it's almost like God just opened up doors that I never even knew I could walk through. And that's what faith really does. That's what being afraid and doing it anyways does. I know biblically it says don't be afraid, but fear is a normal emotion and we all emote. I think it's important for you to know that in order for you to receive or get any of the things in life that you want, you're going to have to do it afraid. You're going to have to be scared and do it shaking. You're going to have to do it even with butterflies in your stomach, even with your stomach doing somersaults, even when you're overthinking. Take a moment and pause, pray about it. Really do some self-reflection in a healthy way. Instead of being like, well, this person isn't going to do this person isn't going to do that. In my head, going back to relationships, I really was like, I'm never going to have to worry about ever being with anybody because not one person is going to do blah, 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 blah. Until you meet somebody that does blah, 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 blah. Then you're like, oh, snap. Okay. All right. Okay. And you have to be afraid. You have to do it scared. I want to make sure that I'm completely clear when I say this. I'm not saying that you do something if you know you're not ready. Never ever go into a relationship if you are not healed or ready at all. And I don't mean that there's something that comes up that you weren't aware of, and so the person may be graced to be able to help you in this season or this area that you're broken in, or this place that you're not completely healed in. But you should be in a position where you've worked on yourself so much that you are able to do that. Don't just go from one relationship to the other because you don't ever want to drag that person into your old feelings or the old things that you've been through. You don't ever want to be the type of person who makes someone else pay for something that someone else did. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be putting in work. I'm just saying that you don't want to be unrealistic, or you don't want to be the type of person who keeps the wrong people out of your life. I always like to say this prayer: God, remove the people from my life who are not supposed to be there for a lesson that you're trying to teach me, or for a lifetime. If they're going to show me, or I'm going to grow or learn something, allow me to be able to learn and see and hear the things that it is that you want for me to see, so that I can be the person that you created me to be. And if this person is supposed to stay into my life, allow me to see the reasons why this person should be a part of my life, so that I don't get in my own way. So when you're going through life, I know this is not a long video, but I just wanted to hop on really quickly. And because it's Halloween, I felt like scared was the perfect topic, especially since I'm learning. And oh, one more thing. Of course, there's always one little quick tidbit thing. When you're going through life, and I know I keep talking about mistakes and things, but I think it's so important. Sometimes you can be afraid to move forward in life because you messed up. Always know that any mistake that you make can be used by God. He will use everything. There's so many silly decisions that I've made in my past, missteps, mistakes. Like I, the book couldn't even hold all of the mistakes that I've made in my life. And even though I'm not perfect, God still used me. He still used my testimony. He still allowed me to be used as a vessel, as an oracle for the sound system of the kingdom of God. He still allowed for my testimony to help other people, for me to be able to pour into others, for me to be able to help to, oh my gosh, like serving people. I never thought that would be my thing. But if I can do something to help somebody, it literally fills me up on the inside. It makes me feel so full. Like, you would think receiving stuff, getting things would be the thing that would hype me up. But whenever I can like really help somebody, a real person, that's when I really, oh, I got another trick-or-treater. Sorry. I will be right back. I'm sorry I keep doing this. All right, thank you, beautiful. Okay, sorry. I know you're probably like, okay, you keep on walking away. I'm so sorry. I do apologize, and I appreciate every person that stayed long enough to make it to this point. When you are going through life, sometimes the adversary is going to make things look good to you. Like, you're going to be afraid because of mistakes that you made in the past. And sometimes those decisions will be things that you were tricked into. It could be something that you have a desire for, that you really, really want in your life. And the adversary is going to make it look so appeasing that you want it. Sometimes you might fall into it. Sometimes you may actually make that bad decision. But know that every bad decision that you make can be used. Don't ever be so afraid of the mistakes that you've made in the past and think that God can't use it, because He always can. Know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Know that you are everything that God created you to be. And that's good enough. You are worthy. You are valuable. You matter. Even when you're afraid, do it anyways. Because it's better to do it, to give it a chance, to actually try to do the things that you want to do in life that are good for you, than for you to not try and think back 10 years from now saying, oh, 10 years ago, I wish I would have went to school. I would have graduated by now. Listen, we're not harping on the past. It's time to move forward, because even when you're afraid, you can accomplish so many things in your life. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.